Now, if nobody touches this, we're laughing.
Curtain!
He jests at scars that never felt a wound. Soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, for she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. Oh, 'tis my lady. Oh, 'tis my love. Oh, that you knew she were. She speaks. Yet she says nothing. And what of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven, having some business, to entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return. What if her eyes were there, they in her head? The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars, as brightness does, as daylight doth a lamp. Her eyes in heaven would through that airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ah, me.
Oh, she speaks! Oh, speak again, bright angel. Thou art as joyous to this night being o'er my head as a winged messenger of heaven. The white upturned wondering eyes of mortals who do fall back to gaze on him when he bestrides the lazy pacing clouds and floats upon the bosom of the air.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I no longer be a Capulet.
Oh, shall I hear more? Or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name, it is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though, not a Montague. What's Montague? Darling, are you going to do that tonight?
What?
That little jump?
Well, yes, I know. Why does it bother you?
Well, no, just as long as I know, that's all.
Sorry, darling. Well, that's all right then. Let's go back. Yes!
'Tis but thy name, that is.
No, before that, I want to cue his little jump.
What little jump, Miss Selby?
The little jump he does onto that bench.
But Mr. Gosford doesn't do a little jump, Miss Selby.
Yes, he does do a little jump. He's just done a little jump.
But he's never done a little jump before.
I know he's never done a little jump before, but he's doing a little jump now. He's just
Look, I don't think I after all.
Oh, yes, you shall. Darling, you are very charming and very youthful. Now, when Mr. Gosford says, shall I speak of this? He does a little jump onto that bench. Now, what's my line before?
And no longer be a Capulet.
Or, if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more? Or shall I speak at this?
It is but thy name, it is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though, not a Montague. What's Montague? Sorry, darling.
Doesn't look awfully silly. I won't do it then.
Oh, yes, you must do it. Let's try.
No, look, if it's as funny as all that, I won't do it. I just thought it might help the boyishness of the line, that's all.
And it does. It looks very boyish. Boyish, Johnny.
Very boyish, Miss Selby.
I was only laughing at you suddenly putting in a thing like that. After us having done this play together so many hundreds of times and never a little jump in 15 years until now, Arthur, just before it first tonight.
All right. Forget the whole thing. I'll say the lines still as the Book of Ages, looking just about twice as... Now, let's...
It's silly to say that, Arthur. If you feel your only get complex about it.
Oh, I am much too old. Not 16.
Well, if it comes to that, I'm 13. But I'm not going to let that worry me, right? It's all I hear, you know, Arthur. It's not just a question of doing
She's gone completely mad. This isn't our plot. What's gone wrong with it?
Well, I check your plot, please. Number 2 free spot should be down to a quarter, not up 4.
Okay.
Oh, and you got your floats too, are you? Burning Mr. Gospel up.
What about me? There's an enormous searchlight on it out there somewhere.
Oh, that's the front of us, Miss Selby. It's in the plot.
We'll take it out.
No, you can't do that. We've got to have some light on the scene. I mean, we can't have it played as just our two voices coming out of the pitch darkness. Much as we both might like to.
Well, I don't see why you should skulk about in romantic moonlight. Well, I'm up here on my balcony being burnt to a cinder by Edison Lighthouse.
Oh, let me see the plot.
As you stopped, dear, I thought you wouldn't mind if I gave you one or two teeny little hints about this scene. It's the first time I've from the front. You don't mind an old lady's interference, do you, dear?
Of course not, Auntie Maud. You know how delighted I am to receive your teeny hints.
I take
Well, when I played, I used to write on my cheek like this, using just the very tips of my fingers. Now, as you do it, dear, you look just a teeny bit like Rodin's thinker.
Do
No, it's too low. Take it up a bit.
take it up, Will.
Well, you know, tastes have changed since I played you father.
I know that, dear, and more for pity.
Maud, dear, this is 1948. The theatre's gone through a revolution since 1900.
It was 1914 when I played Julia, dear. I remember the day because the declaration of war damaged our business so terribly.
Maud, dear, you've been more since then. I don't think you quite understand the complete change that has come over the theatre in the last few years. Why else do you think we're opening this right corner of the theatre at the Opera House, Manchester?
That's too minute.
Too high, Will.
Faith, he may put up our pipes and be gone.
What?
Am I? I heard my cue, so
Get off stage.
yes. But you gave me your cue. You can't say you didn't.
What is your...
Well, it's a point, really. When everyone stops speaking.
My dear Mr...
Chudley,
my-
George Chudley.
My dear Mrs. Chudley, if you're going to come on stage and speak that line every time there's a pause in the play, it's going to make the plot rather difficult to follow.
Well, I meant it was just my cue. When everyone stops speaking. That's my cue to come on. My real cue is high will.
Move them no more by crossing their I will. Yeah, he's right, Mr. Gospel. No, that is your cue to come on, but it doesn't come till the next, you see. You've been paying more attention. Now look, would you kindly leave the stage as we're rather busy?
That's all very well. But you said it, you know. I heard it distinctly. And you can't say you didn't.
Look, get off stage, you silly old man.
Don't you talk to me like that, young chap. I acted with your father.
I don't care if you acted with Garrick's father, just get off stage.
Better be careful, young fella. That's no way to speak to a fellow.
Oh,
It's not right.
change that common purse to 53, would you?
You say I acted with my brother?
Yes. I this too. I played Peter.
Yes, I remember you. I remember you well. You were just as incompetent then as you are now.
It's enough from you, you old bag.
What was that you called me? An old bag? There you are. You see, that shows exactly why you never got on the theatre. When you have a line like that to say, you don't mouth it and throw it away. It's a to say bag. You must form it with your lips like this. Bag! Bag! Bag!
Look, my dear fella, just wait. There's a good chap, and wait for your line, which doesn't come for hours yet, while we
Don't I won't. I'm not leaving.
I've been insulted.
I've been insulted and I know I'm leaving.
Nonsense, you can't leave.
retiring. I've been on stage for 40 years, and come April,
I'm 67 and I've been 50 years on stage.
yeah, I'm 57 and I've been 40 years on stage come April.
Oh, my dear Mr. Robert, you really mustn't take on so little just because. And
I've never been a good actor.
I've never been.
What's more, I never
What's more, I've never
liked
liked it. I've never needed the money. And why I've knocked about for all these years, worrying about one line or two lines to say, and sharing bedrooms with chaps I detest, I can never fathom. I'm finished with it all now, and finished with it for good. And I'm leaving. Goodbye, all. Oh, sorry, wrong way.
can't even make an exit properly.
Must have a film job.
Oh, one of the supers can do the pipes line. And we'll break for tea, but don't strike the set. I want to rehearse the farewell scene before the performance.
Ah, yes, Mr. Gospel. All right, everyone, break for tea. Back at 6:30, please. Go 7:30.
And then I want to rehearse the duel.
Ah, yes, Mr. Gospel.
And then I'll see those 6 girls for Winterstone.
Yes, Mr. Gospel.
When there's still time, we can rehearse the duel.
Yes, Mr. Gospel.
Oh, Jack, would you send someone out for some sandwiches for me, please? And juice.
Yes, Dame Maud.
Maybe 2 bottles. It's so good for my back.
Yes, Dame Maud.
Well, goodbye, my dear. What I've seen, I'm sure it's all going to be absolutely splendid.
Sandwich, darling.
No, thank you, my darling.
Property does not room, my darling.
And don't worry, my precious. That wig is... You can do your little jump if you want to.
No, thank you, darling. Well, I'm not getting too old for the part, am I?
My angel. Well, if you are, so
Oh, but you are as young as
I'm so many.
just say, faith, we may put up our house and God.
Fair, and be gone.
You, we may put up our pipes and be gone. You do it. Miss Bishop, Miss Bishop. Hey, I will your line later. Oh, Miss Bishop, I'll get into Mr. Will, tell them the 6 girls do winter's there.
Yes,
Oh, Mr. Gospel. Bad luck, sir.
I bet it was because you picked these gloves up on the street last Friday.
What the hell does he want before this time?
Oh, the jewel.
Oh my God, not again. Look, you look to the feather for the big one. You think I've got the time?
Yes, Mr. Ingram, I'll warn you.
Yeah. In a drown in the room. Is that a crop in the plate?
Well, not unless they've considerably rewritten it. Is it alive?
Oh, I don't know. I will. Yes, that's what I do with it.
Well, I guess that belongs to somebody. You better leave it there. I don't know, what with mums out front and babies in the wings, it's not so much a dress rehearsal as an old home week. Yes, what can I do for you?
I want to speak to me dad, please.
Oh, and who might your dad be?
Oh, he's an actor.
Ah, well, you've come to the wrong theatre, love. We're going to try the Palace of Varieties across the street.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Maxfield.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Burton.
I hope you find our theatre to your satisfaction.
Oh, yes. How are the bookings?
Oh, not bad. Not half bad when you consider what the show is.
Look, I'm sure it is his theatre.
No, it's a palace of variety. Through that door, up the stairs and into the street.
Funny for them to choose to open up here,
Ah.
I must say.
Social purpose, Mr. Burton.
Social purpose? Now what in the blazes is that one, isn't it?
Well, as far as I can make out, it means putting on Shakespeare for people what would rather go to the pictures. While people what would rather go to Shakespeare are driven to the pictures because there ain't no Shakespeare to go to. Well, here's Mr. Gospel explaining it all to you. The head manager, Mr. Burton, sir.
How do you do? My wife and I are simply thrilled to be playing in your beautiful, in this delightful town.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Oswald. And I can assure you it's a great honour for us all to have you both up here.
Well, I must say, you have been very kind to us here in Sheffield.
But it's next week you open in Sheffield, Mr. Oswald.
What town is this then?
Oh, it's Brackley.
Oh, yes, of course. How we of them?
You must excuse him. Great often a bit absent-minded.
Brackley, of course. Good.
What's the matter?
Tell me, Mr. Darley, is there a perfectly repulsive building in glazed brick with a ridiculous dome
A civic centre.
and directly opposite an enormous white concrete and glass object?
Library, Mr. Oswald.
Do you know this town then, Mr. Gospel?
Yes. Only too well. Only.
Oh, when exactly was that, Mr. Oswald? Could you pin it to a definite date? I'll phone up the Argus about this.
Let me see now. Oh, yes, I can tell you exactly. It was the year that Gladys Cooper opened the on the door.
I'm afraid I don't remember when that was, Mr. Oswald. Do you?
No. Mr. Gospel, you can't remember anything else that happened now. You know, like a war or something.
Oh, no, I don't think there was a war. Was
Promotion, an earthquake.
No. Something to do with trains. They didn't run. The newspapers, too, there were notices. And I had to drive a tram for some or another.
1926, the general strike.
Oh, yes, that's what it was called. Thank you, the general strike.
1926.
I must get a cup of tea before I look at 6 girls.
Bit scatterbrained, isn't it?
Oh, I think the scatter avoid.
Oh, he was supposed to be an intellectual sort of chap.
Well, he's an actor, Mr. Burton.
Could you give me a bit more on the Gospels for the Argus?
Yes, all right, but it'll have to be quick, you know. I've got 100 things to do.
How long have you been married?
15 years.
Any children?
Yeah, one, little Basil.
And how old is little Basil?
13.
Is he up here?
No, it's school.
There's a baby out here in the wings. It looks exactly like I know. Who is it?
I've no idea, I'm afraid.
You know, it's very careless of people to leave babies out of the wings. So there may be a very nasty accident. Someone may trip over it and ruin their exit. See that it's removed before the rehearsal?
Yes, Mr. Gospel.
Oh, and another thing. If people are going to bring babies to the theatre, make sure that they're left in the proper place.
Yes, Mr. Gospel. Where's that?
I don't know.
Oh, is there any more help I can give you, Mr. Burton?
No, thanks. I think that's all. It only remains for me to wish you a very successful opening, which I'm sure you will have.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Gospel. Bye. Sorry, Mr. Burton. Oh, I don't know.
Woo! Tom! Look where we got ourselves to!
Madam, would you and your friend kindly leave the theatre?
No, I told you, I want to see me dad.
And I told you your dad isn't here.
Oh, yes he is. He's not at the palace like you said. He's here. I've seen his name on the posters.
Well, we can't see him now anyway. Anyway, who is your dad?
Gosbort's the name.
Gospel.
Yes, Arthur Gosbort. He's an actor.
Oh, so you're the daughter of Arthur Gospel, are you?
That's right, and this is my husband.
How do?
Oh, I'm very pleased to meet you both, I'm sure. Gospel's daughter, and this is her husband. I wonder if you'd sort of take care of them, you know, show them round the theatre and...
Okay, Mr. Wakefield.
now, Miss Gospel.
Miss Palmer.
I beg your pardon, Mrs. Palmer, yes, of course. If you and your husband wouldn't mind stepping back through that window and down the stairs there. This very nice young gentleman takes such very good care.
Outside your head, pal. Come on, Tom.
Lock them downstairs because the door is up and they might come back again.
Oh, good idea. Which room will you put them in?
Number 3, the girl's in there already.
Whose daughter's there? Okay, Johnny, thanks a lot. Oh.
Hey, we may put up our lights.
I say, dear chap, I wonder if you'd mind going somewhere else and doing it. I'm rather busy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Wakefield. You see, this is my big chance, and I don't want to make a mock of it. Hey, we may put... It should be... Hey, we may put up our pipes and be gone. Or, hey, we put up our pipes and be gone.
Oh, how about, Faith? They put up our and gone!
Oh, I don't think that's quite right.
Well, it sounds awfully right to me.
Hey, we put up our pipes. Have we gone? Put up our...
Joyce, why didn't you tell me you were coming?
We're learning to surprise you.
Mr. Gospel, I'd like to introduce you to Miss England.
How do you
How
do?
do you do?
I read The Winter's Tale.
No,
Well, it's not part. It's been abandoned by her father, which was baby, and many years later...
Miss Lane isn't here at Winter's Tale, Mr. Gospel. She's my fiancée, and we're getting married after the provincial tour. So I won't be coming with you to Europe.
Yes, of course, my dear chap. Now, what about the 6 girls from Winter's Tale? Are they here yet?
Yes, Mr. Gospel. Did you hear what I said just now?
Yes, of course I do. Well, I better see those girls now. Bring them in one by one, would you?
Yes, Mr. Gospel. Johnny!
Mr. Wakefield?
Oh, are the girls here for Winter's Tale?
Yes, 7 of them.
That's right. Will you send them in now? Mr. Gospel will see them, but separately.
What do you think, Miss Jack?
Oh, much better.
And you, Miss, what do you think?
I think it's charming.
No. Well, I don't think I like it there.
Mr. Gospel, I don't think you quite grasped what I said just now.
Yes, of course I did, my dear fellow. You said you thought the pot looked nice there, but I didn't agree.
No, before that I told you I was getting married.
Getting married, my picture? I'm absolutely delighted. Who to?
Well,
Edna! I've thought of an entirely new way of dying.
Oh, have you, my daughter? How exciting.
Can someone bring on the tool?
Johnny! Give us a hand to bring on the two, will you?
Oh, now, my dear, if you wouldn't mind, be so kind, take up a position there. Thank you very much. The beauty of it is in the simplicity, darling. Oh, I'll just give you something to lie on. Thank you.
Mr. Gospel, there's something I've got to tell you before you die.
My dear, if she can't do the quick change in time, she'll just have to wear the black velvet right through, that's all.
Yeah, but Mr. Gospel...
That's enough. Not another word on the subject. Come, little comrade. Come, unsavoury guide. Thou desperate pilot, now at once run on. Desperate rocks, thy sea-sick weary bark.
Why don't you wait for me in my room? It's number 14 on the second floor, and I'll join you as soon as I can.
All right, darling. Arthur, darling, it was a lovely day, but I'm not absolutely sure that perhaps it can go on a hair too long. I don't think we'll put it in tonight.
I'm sorry, darling. I just thought it was worth trying, that's all.
Oh, Mr. Gosport, are you ready for me?
No, just yet. I've got to see 6 girls. Just stand over there, would you? Jack! Ready for Winter's Tale?
Right. Johnny, send on the First Lady, will you please?
Okay.
What's his name?
Muriel Palmer.
Muriel Parr.
There he is. That's Dad. Oh, Daddy, I'm your daughter. You're my dad.
Excuse me, miss. What text are you using?
It's all right, Mr. Gosport. I know about this young lady. She's been bothering us all evening. How did you get out of that?
Young man came along and locked us and told me 6 other girls to get from the stage separately, as Mr. Gosbolt was waiting for us.
Now, are you going to leave quietly, or shall I have to ring up the police?
Ring up the police? Go ahead. I don't mind. I haven't done anything wrong. I just want to say hello to my dad, that's all. That's him, all right. I recognise him from Mum's picture on the piano.
Even in this country, you can't arrest a girl for talking to her dad, you know.
Don't scare me, young man.
All right, I warned you. Johnny, ring up the police, will you, and ask them to send a man round wherever you spot a trouble.
Did I understand this young lady claiming that I'm her father?
Well, your name's Gosbolt, isn't it?
Arthur Gosport, yes?
Well, I'm your daughter, Muriel. You never met me because I was born after you left Mum. And this is my husband, Tom. He's your son-in-law. And I brought something else along I thought you might like to meet. Yeah, go on, Tom.
Okay, you.
Excuse me, young lady. You mentioned just now a character called Mum. Could you be a bit more explicit, please? Where exactly does this Mum person live?
Oh, same old place, number 21 up at Bacon Road.
And is Mum's name Florence?
That's right. Flossie.
Flossie? Oh, it can't be.
Oh, yes, it is, Dad.
Arthur, you can't possibly mean that this child is...
You don't need to look at her face to see the truth. The living image of a dreadful mother.
Well, really, that's a fine way to talk, I must say.
Mr. Gosport, as we've never seen the young lady's dreadful mother, perhaps there's some other way we can test her story. When were you born, love?
January the 15th, 1927.
Don't cross-examine me, I don't know. I can only tell you that I'm convinced of the truth of this girl's statement. This is my daughter, Mabel.
Muriel. Muriel for short.
Ah, my daughter, Muriel. Muriel for short. But why are you here? What do you want?
Want? I don't want anything. I just came to say hello, that's all. It seems silly it's been in the same time for us not to meet. Mum didn't want me to come. I thought Dad would be interested to see what I look like and to meet his new son-in-law. Besides, I've got a nice little surprise for you. Tom? I want to introduce you to your grandson.
My grandson?
That's right, Dad.
It looks just like John Barrymore.
No, darling. The awful thing is that it looks terribly like you.
Oh, Edna, how can you say such?
Yes, he's the image of his grandpa, the little king. Come on, Grandpa, tickle his little tummy.
I refuse to tickle his little tummy.
How old is it?
5 months. You're Edna Selby, aren't you?
Yes.
I saw you in Shakespeare once in Birmingham. You played the Queen when Mr. Gosboard played Hamlet.
Well, I have played it, yes.
Well, you played his mother, which in a sort of way makes you our little Ted's great-grandmama, doesn't it?
No, it does not. Not in any sort of way. And please, please don't say that it does. Arthur, how could you?
Well, I'm responsible for Ted.
No, but you're responsible for you.
I was a mere boy. A wild, hot-headed, irresponsible young boy. Romeo was 17.
And your Juliet was Flossie.
She was my too, in a way, but not for long. She didn't even come to the theatre to see me act. Anyway, it had to end, as all such mad, useful follies must.
Well, it didn't have to end in this.
And I say unto you, the sins of the fathers will be visited upon the children, even unto the third and fourth generation. You know the line.
Well, it seems to have got up to the fourth generation far too quickly. Arthur, it's not in my nature to reproach you for what is past and done, but it does seem that you have been awfully, awfully foolhardy. Please remove this.
Okay, if that's the way you feel.
Well, didn't they appreciate him then? Oh, well, come along then, come along. Here, say ta-ta for now, Granddaddy.
Oh, Edna, for God's sake, what am I to do? Jack, what am I to do?
Look, Mr. Gospel, they haven't bothered you for years. There's no reason to think that they will in the future.
But that child, that horrifying child.
No one need know. Look, ask your daughter, well, Mrs. Palmer anyway, to keep it a secret. If I might venture to suggest, send a little present round to them for the baby now and then.
Here's a nice little box of jujubes, flavoured with prussic acid.
I think that's quite in the best of taste to make a joke of that sort, Edna. After all, the creature is my grandson. Oh, God, my grandson.
Oh, never mind, my darling. These things can happen to any of us.
Oh, but why now? When I'm playing Romeo, so why couldn't it have turned up when I was playing Lear?
But that's life, my darling.
We shall have to cancel the performance now, of course.
No, Mr. Gospel, I don't think you'll need to do that.
How can I play a boy of 17 with a grandson in the wings, mocking me with that repulsive leer of his every time I come on stage?
Well, because it won't be in the wings. First thing tomorrow, I shall go round and see Mrs. Palmer's mother. Look, I'd better have her address again.
21 Upper Brecon Road.
Right, thank you. And her name?
Flossie.
I know that. I meant her surname.
Sport, I suppose.
Good.
What an odd coincidence.
Did you marry Flossie?
Oh, yes. She was quite certain about that fact. I remember it.
Arthur, do you mean to say that your daughter isn't illegitimate?
No, they're perfectly legitimate, I think.
Well, really? This is going to put a completely different complexion on things, Arthur. It's going to make me look awfully silly if this gets out.
Darling, I'm awfully sorry, but it was such a long time ago, and I didn't want to bother you with the whole rather sordid story.
Mr. Gospel, when did you divorce your first wife?
Let me see now. I left her to take up a part in the passing of the third floor back.
I said, when did you divorce her? This is rather important. You did divorce her, didn't you?
Yes, of course I did, my dear chap. I remember perfectly.
Now, did you divorce her or did she divorce you?
We divorced each other, my dear fellow.
I'm afraid, in law, that's not quite possible. Who was awarded the decree nihil? You or your wife?
Decree nice. Well, what's that?
Well, that's the decision awarded by a judge in a divorce action.
Judge? I don't remember a judge. I mean, if there'd been a judge, I would have remembered. There was a solicitor, though, and lots of documents to sign.
Look, one solicitor and a lot of documents to sign doesn't make a divorce.
Dear chap, don't fuss. The whole thing was perfectly legal, I assure you.
You don't think it could have been just a deed of separation signed and not a divorce at all?
It was a divorce. The solicitor, his name was Jenkins, and he had commissioned an oath written on his glasgow.
Hello, Dad. Just been looking around the stage. Don't mind, do you?
Mrs. Palmer, I wondered if I asked you a straight question, would you mind giving me a straight answer?
All right, fire away.
Is your mother divorced?
Mom, divorced? Of course not.
Thank you. That is what I'd already gathered.
Mind you, she's often thought of divorcing Dad. She never got round to it, though. Not that she's got a good word to say for him, mind you. She always says, laziest, pottiest, most selfish man she met in all her life. You'll find she was sticky end, she used to say to me when I was a little girl. You mark my words, me, she used to say. If your dad doesn't end his days in jail, my name's a frosty bog board.
Your
Thanks a million, Dad. I'm not your dad, you know. Law, old cock, law.
Arthur, it does seem to have been terribly, terribly careless.
Oh, darling, this piece of terrible mistake. The whole thing's absolutely ridiculous. Jack, you must fix it.
Mr. Gospel and Miss Selby, I'm afraid this is something that not even I can fix. You must face, both of you, the very serious fact that you are vigorously married.
Miss Fishlock!
Yes, Arthur.
Come in here at once, would you? Miss Fishlock, you must get in touch with the London office immediately. Inform Mr. Wilmot that my wife and I have committed bigamy.
Yes, Miss Crawford. What did you say you and your wife have committed?
Bigamy.
Silly word, isn't it? It sounds almost as if Mr. Gosport and I have committed a serious crime.
Hate to alarm you, Miss Selby, but that is exactly what Mr. Gospel has committed.
Oh, you mean we might get a fine or something?
Miss Fishlock, do you happen to know what the maximum penalty for bigamy is?
What is it, Miss Fishlock?
Imprisonment. For life. And does this apply to you too, Miss Fishlock?
Oh no, Miss Selby, you haven't committed any crime. Only Mr. Gosport.
Does that mean that they would separate us?
I'm afraid they would, Miss Selby.
Oh no, they wouldn't. Oh, they couldn't. If Arthur has to go to prison, then I shall go too.
Well, I don't think that's allowed, Miss Selby. Is it, Miss Fishlock?
No, Mr. Wakefield, I don't know of any prisons where convicts are allowed to take their wives.
Oh, Miss Fishlock! Oh, this silly woman, she gets so hysterical.
Arthur, I won't let them take me from me. I won't.
First, darling, I'll sort the whole thing out. I'll make a public apology, divorce Frosty properly, and marry you again. Now, let's get on with some work here. You. Well, we'll do your line now. Darling, won't you take up your position for the potion scene after you've drunk the potion?
How much of all this did you hear?
Oh, don't worry about me, Mr. Wakefield. I'm not a tittle tattle. This is my big giant whiskey lock.
Right, now, we'll do your line and I'll give you your cue. Now, leave a 5-second pause. Come down. Look at the bed. And see what you take to be a dead body. Your expression should show the understanding that this young girl, at whose wedding you've been hired to play, has taken her own life. Presumably because she couldn't stand the thought of being married to Paris, and she has died for the love of another. Your face should express the understanding of the undying conflict between spiritual love and this gross, mundane world. Well, if you can't do it, it just looks sad. Then turn around and say the line to your fellow musician, who we presume to be over there. Understand?
Yes, Mr. Gospel.
Right. Off you go. Jack! Music!
Manetro!
The heavens do lower upon us for some dear. Move them no more by crossing their high will. Faith, we may put up our hearts and be gone. What? Oh, you've come back, Mr.
I just felt that I couldn't desert you both in the hour of your great affliction.
Great affliction?
Well, how did you hear about that?
Well, I was down with the fellows, and a chap from the company came in and said that Mr. and Mrs. Gosport would likely get a life sentence for bigamy.
Oh, God, it must be all over the town by
Oh,
now.
no. Jack, the time no one will stand by us. Mr. Chudley, it was very naughty of you to leave us so suddenly, but I think I know what the matter was. We all suffered from the occasional creasy nerve.
Christy, what?
Nerves, Mr. Chudley, nerves. Now you come along with me, and I'll get you a nice strong cup of tea.
Oh, Mr. Gosport, you will have another line for me to say something, would you?
I'll keep you in mind.
very too late. 3 feathers and it's real. Oh, everybody will have heard by now.
Well, Mr. Wakefield,
Yes?
do you think I should give up theatre?
Why ask me?
Well, you know so much about life.
What's life got to do with the theatre?
Oh, a shame about that line. It came at such an important time. What with Dame Maud and Miss Selby being on, and I threw a pause and a chance for face acting. Well, the London critics might have noticed me.
Why, I doubt that, old chap. You see, the potion scene comes very soon after the interval.
Oh? Goodbye.
Cherry pie.
Oh, what is this terrible news?
Oh, Dame Maud, have you been to the 3 Feathers?
Well, I did just look in for a light refreshment, and I heard this abominable slander. Oh, Jack, have pity on a lady and tell me it isn't true.
Well, I'm afraid it is, Dame Maud.
I see. Well, of course you know who's behind it all, don't you?
No? Who?
The old pick.
Oh, I don't think so.
My dear Jack, are you quite blind? It's all as clear as daylight to me. They'll stop at nothing, that lot. Absolutely nothing. I'm going to bring them up this very moment and tell them exactly what I see.
Dame Maud, I wouldn't do that.
And satisfied.
Oh.
Who's in charge, please?
Mr. Wakefield, he'll be back here in a moment.
You, Mr. Wakefield?
Yes, that's right. Officer, yes, I'm Mr. Wakefield, yes. That's perfectly correct.
I understand you want assistance.
Assistance?
Aye, one of your chaps rung up to say you're having bother at theatre.
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course. I quite forgot. Well. Just fancy you coming all the way around here just because you heard we were having a spot of bother. I think that's very good of you, officer. But actually, it was all a mistake, an utter misunderstanding.
You're not having any bother.
No bother at all. No, not at all. In fact, everything's perfect.
Well, I don't know what you're doing, wasting our time.
Well, I can't apologise enough. I really do appreciate you cycling all the way round here from the police station on a wild goose chase. Look, my dear chap, why don't you sit down and make yourself comfortable, eh? And I'll go and get you a nice large drink. What would you like? A whiskey?
Aye.
Oh, I thought you might. All right, well, you make yourself comfortable and just relax, and I'll go off and get you a nice, large whiskey, an enormous Duncan whiskey.
Jack, are we doing a farewell scene? No purpose to be served, I suppose, in kicking against fate.
Beg your pardon, ma'am.
Constable, I just want you to know one thing. In 15 years, my husband and I have never spent a single night apart.
Is that so, ma'am? Just fancy.
And if we were separated, Constable, I think we would die.
Would you indeed, ma'am?
Constable, nothing can come between us now. I want you to know, Constable, that nothing can tear us apart. Nothing and no one, not even you. And if you take Arthur, you must take me too.
I see, ma'am. I'll bear that in mind.
Oh, Miss Selby, Dame Maud's been taken ill and she's calling for you urgently.
What can that matter now, Jack? I was just
Isn't it nice of the constable to come rushing round here just because he thought we were having a spot of trouble? Especially when we're not having any trouble at all, are we?
Oh, Constable. Perhaps you better forget what I was talking about just now.
I'll try to, ma'am.
A little
I'm sure.
secret between the two of us, eh? What a beautiful line of the neck the Constable has. Don't you think so, Jack?
Oh, yes, beautiful.
Well, goodbye, Constable, and thank you for your great, great kindness to us all. We shall never forget it.
That would end the Selby one, Dick.
Yes, that's right. look, I wouldn't pay too much attention to anything she might have said to you because, you see, she's suffering from a bad case of first night nerves.
Oh, is that the way it takes it then?
Well, most of the time, yes. Well, seeing as you finish your drink, maybe I can show you the way out.
I'll find my own way out, thank you.
Well, no, it's a little bit complicated. I wouldn't want you to be bothered by any of the other actors.
Why, are they suffering from first night nerves too, then?
Well, most of them, yes. Now, look, if you'd like to come this way, I'll just clear a path.
Well, really, Constable, this is too much. I do think you might have waited until after the performance.
Well, Mr. Gosport, sir, I've got my work to do.
Look, I wouldn't take any notice of what my wife says. We're divorced, there's absolutely no doubt about it.
That's all, sir. I had no idea.
And another thing, we haven't spoken a word to each other since the general strike.
That's too bad, sir. Your wife gave me to understand quite different.
Of course she would, my dear fellow. She's looking after the publicity, I suppose. There's something else I want to tell you, Inspector. I'm not sure that my child is really mine.
Good gracious!
Mr. Gosport, Miss Selby's waiting to do the farewell. Come this way, officer. Please come this way. Oh, and I wouldn't take too much notice of what he might have said either.
Is he suffering from first night nerves too, then?
Oh, well, far worse than that. In fact, he's completely off his rocker. It's very sad, really.
Lord love us, but can he still act?
Oh, yes, he can still act. That's about all he can do. If you'd like to come this way.
Give me the lighting for farewell, please. Thank you. Let me be tamed. Let me be put to death. I am content, for thou so willed it. Here is my son. Let us talk, it is not day.
Oh, it is. High hence be gone away. It is the love that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discord and unpleasing shapes. Oh, now be gone, for light and light it grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Oh, Mr. Gosport, Miss Selby, oh, I know you'll forgive me for interrupting. I report news.
Yes, Miss Bishop.
I got through to Mr. Wilmot and I gave him a message. He was most calm, most kind, most gentle. It was so reassuring. He's coming down to Bradford tomorrow on the early train. In person.
How very good of him.
What's more, he gave me a message to pass on to you both. He says that you're of no account to worry yourselves about this matter. He says there can be no danger whatsoever of what we feared.
I knew it.
He says it will probably be necessary for Miss Selby to sign a document saying that at the time she married you, Mr. Gosport, she was aware that you were already married. That, of course, would have the effect of making your second marriage null and void.
Oh, that's splendid.
And, Mr. Gosport, he was so brave, he really was. He says there should be little difficulty in you getting a divorce from that other person. If you and Miss Selby still wish it, then you can get married again. No publicity, of course. Mr. Gosport.
Thank you, Bishop. You very well. I'm very proud of you.
Oh, Mr. Gosport, I knew you'd be pleased. I'm so glad, really, I am. Oh, I do congratulate you. You too, Miss Selby.
Let's just finish the climb down, dear.
Then window, let day in and let life out.
Farewell. Farewell. One kiss and I'll descend.
Art thou gone, sir? Arthur, I've just thought of something quite dreadful.
What?
Little Basil.
Little Basil. Miss Bishop!
Yes, Mr. Gosport.
Miss Bishop, would you get in touch with the London office immediately and inform Mr. Wilmot that he appears to have made little Basil into a little bastard?
Yes, Mr. Gosport.
dear?
Yes, I do, dear, especially on the balcony.
Jack! There's far too much from here and far too much from there.
Look, if I take it down any more, Mr. Gospel, they'll go out altogether.
No nonsense, my dear fellow. Right, everyone, today we're ready for the duel scene. Now, Tribute, take the villain back again that late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul is but little way above our head, staying for thine to keep him company. For either thou or I, or both of us, go with him.
Thou wretched boy that you prefer shall witness.
This shall determine that. Oh, young man!
And to stop
Look, I'm supposed to be mine. Let's do it again.
one or two more teeny moments about
Just
Now,
now.
take the that late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul is but little way above our head, staying for thine.
Don't take it down any more, then we'll
For
never
either thee or I
Then we
must
said
go with
before,
you.
Jack.
Thou wretched boy that it consort here shall with him hence.
This shall determine that.
Jack, dear, it's the illusion I tried on the balcony.
No, that's too quick.
take it down, Miss Selby, they'll fuse.
What makes them feel?
This shall determine that. Oh, this duel scene is getting far too sloppy. George, please stand in for me.
Jack, there's still too much light up here, dear.
Take it right down, Will. My God, they fused. House lights, house lights.
Check out those lights. It's 7:30. There's an audience out front. Look!
House lights! I want to start the second as soon as you're ready, please.
That's great fun.
Right, that's 9:15.
That's fun, John.
Okay, we've got a good stance on it. That's fine. That's where it goes, just like that. We're well back against the curtain. Okay.
Let's go.
There's about 6 mistakes. Alright. Left count. During the left count, second left count. Then with the house lights, we want this a little bit of light. We'll have to see what's better.
Don't take the house lights out yet. They're not ready backstage.
What else can I do? We'll install it and the doors have been closed.
Well, then give them some music until we're ready.
I can't put the music on now. I'm all set for the thunder sound effect.
Well, what the hell? Start anyway.
So I start the tape.
Yes, go. Go on, fade the lights.
Scuffling by
the enchanting lass.
Daphne, darling. Quick, Paul, catch her, she's going to faint.
She's safe in my grasp, milady.
The excitement has been too much for her teenage metabolism. Thank goodness I always carry smelling salts on me. Would you administer them, Paul? Where are they? Daphne, darling, speak to your mother.
Oh, Mother, I just had a most terrible dream. I thought I saw Aunt Clarissa lying dead.
That was no dream, Daphne. Your aunt has indeed passed on violently.
You mean she blagged and someone rubbed her out?
Where do you pick up these crude expressions, Daphne? Paul, can I remove my sister in a dignified manner?
I am, your obedient servant.
Now, Daphne, while we are alone, I feel I must chastise you for speaking about Clarissa so openly in front of faithful old Paul.
Oh, Mother, even old Paul knows that Aunt Clarissa was one of several members of our family who were in a conspiracy to find the contents of Daddy's will, which is being read tomorrow night.
Well, I must admit you are correct on two counts, Daphne. Firstly, your aunt was indeed a mercenary woman whose cravings overstepped the bounds of decency. Equally,
Who? Her. What? Her desire to have your late father's will altered in her favour was an open secret.
equally, her desire to have your late father's will altered in her favour was an open secret, which means, of course, that practically everyone in the household had a motive to kill her. Come in. Come in.
Bonjour, Madame. I have prepared tales as you wish, Madame, and I came here Inspector O'Reilly's police car approaching.
Inspector O'Reilly, milady.
Who is it, Paul?
Inspector O'Reilly, milady.
Good. Show him in.
Very good, luck. Lady Bishop,
We've been expecting you, Inspector. Won't you come in and warm yourself by the fire?
but Moy, what a grand blaze.
So welcoming, don't you think? Brigitte, a glass of sherry for our guest. Here's my daughter, Daphne.
With the greatest of pleasure.
How do you do, Inspector?
And would you care for a glass of sherry?
Just a soup con.
Brigitte, a glass of sherry.
Oh, Madame.
I'm sorry we have to meet under such unfortunate circumstances, my lady.
Oh, yes. Clarissa was too young. I expect you'll want an inspector, Inspector.
I fear that will be my hapless duty, ma'am. First, I must make a few notes. What can you tell me about your sister?
Well, she was my sister. She had recently arrived here at Checkmate Manor for the reading of my late husband's will.
What might I say, Lady Bishop? What a fine man your late husband, Sir Reginald Bishop, was.
A fine man. Why, yes, some people might say so. But those of us who lived with him knew him better.
Be so good as to elaborate.
My father was little more than an animal, Inspector. No, Mother, let me speak. No, please, don't try and stop me. You know that he was.
How could you tolerate such
Don't
behavior?
touch that.
How could you tolerate such behavior, my lady?
Look around you,
Yes.
Where are they?
They're asleep upstairs.
Dinner is served.
Would you like to join us, Inspector?
Oh, you're most gracious, milady.
Oh, well, perhaps you'd be good enough to accompany my daughter. What strong, powerful arms you have, Inspector.
Please, Inspector, I must speak with you.
Regine, be about your business, my girl. Down, boy.
What a positively delightful meal, Sonia. Daphne.
It was nothing.
I bet some of the lads down at the station wish their wives had given it to them tonight.
And what about you, Inspector? Would you like to have given it to your wife?
I wouldn't mind that. Truth to tell, I'm fancy free. What about you?
Oh, as free as air, although...
What?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Tell me.
No.
Why?
The pain.
Of losing? Who?
Randolph.
And you were?
Yes, we were.
What happened?
It doesn't matter.
Tell me.
No.
Why?
It still hurts.
The pain?
Yes, of losing.
Randolph?
Yes.
And you were?
Yes, we were.
What happened?
It doesn't matter.
Tell me.
No.
Why?
Pain.
Oh, the pain of losing.
Yes, of losing Randolph.
And you were?
Yes, we were.
Well, what happened?
It doesn't matter.
Tell me.
No.
Why?
Excusez-moi, monsieur. I have made up a spare room for you in the bed.
Thank you. Daphne, I'm glad you told me everything.
So am I, Inspector. Good night. Inspector, I have vital information for you about the killing of Mademoiselle Clarissa.
Well, spit it out, girl.
No, I cannot speak now. Here at midnight. If you want a little bedtime reading, Inspector, you will find a very interesting book behind you. Bonsoir.
Advanced chess. Chapter 1. How to annihilate the opposition in 9 moves. 9 moves.
Hello there. Anyone around up here?
Who's that?
Give me a second.
Yes. Who are? I am Inspector O'Reilly, and I'm here to investigate the murder of Clarissa Rook. Were you familiar with the deceit?
Well, I'm Lady Bishop's cousin Joan, and I'm here for the reading of her late husband's will. You must be Inspector O'Reilly.
Yes, I can see the resemblance.
It's horrible. We grew up together.
I must ask you a few questions.
Oh, well. I must go to bed. I'm an archaeologist, you know, and I'm excavating the ruins of Highcliffe Abbey tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
Be careful, young lady. Those ruins are highly dangerous, especially after the rain has made loose the cement and bricks of the overhanging parapet.
Don't worry. I should be all right. My own mouse, anyway, by myself. Good night.
sort of cocoa do you have?
There it is. Oh, there it is, little devil. Please, I've got some transfer. Sorry. I say it's a beautiful morning. Is anyone up yet? Well, we were just going to bed,
Good morning, madam, and where have you come from?
Oh, sorry. Oh, Paul, something fearful has happened. I've just ridden like the wind from the ruins of Highcliffe Abbey, where June, the archaeologist, is lying dead. Oh, she was so beautiful and talented, one of our country's leading archaeologists, and now she's lying under the remains of St. Francis of Assisi. Oh, what shall we do? What shall we do?
You just skipped 5 pages. We haven't got to that bit yet.
Oh, doesn't it? I think you must be imagining things.
I think you must be imagining things, ma'am.
Oh, Paul, how could I imagine that crumpled, ashen-faced corpse that was once a vibrant wife and
Pray, lower your voice a bit, ma'am. There's somebody coming down the stairs. We don't want to alarm them needlessly.
Morning, everybody! Beautiful day for a dig, isn't it? Well, I must fly. I'm excavating the ruins of Highcliffe Abbey. Oh, Lyle, I'm so desperately attracted to you. You're not like other men.
Why am I so different?
I can't put my finger on it.
Do it again.
What?
Do it again, we both ready.
Lionel, I'm so desperately attractive and you don't like other men.
Why is that so different?
Oh, I can't put my finger in it.
I reckon there is something a teeny bit special about me, Dad. I reckon the thing that sets me apart from the rest of the boys is my highly developed powers of deduction.
You mean you know who's been doing all these murders here in grand old Checkmate Manor?
No, but I have found a few clues.
Crumbs, you must be bright. I'm flummoxed.
Well, I've been keeping my eyes open. Take this book, for instance. Regine, your delicately attractive French maid, excuse me, old girl, tried to attract my attention to it before she met her maker.
You mean she was trying to tell you something?
Too sure she was. And this is what? How to do something other than 9 moves. Oh, and this chessboard here. Every time someone dies, a piece on this chessboard disappears. Clarissa Rook was strangled, and her rook disappeared. Gladys Knight was electrocuted, and...
Not her. It was in the 5 pages that got left out.
I predict that 9 chessmen will be appropriated before this grisly murderer has completed his task. What's the matter?
Darling,
What's the matter, darling?
there were going to be 9 men here for the reading of Daddy's will tonight.
And judging by the fact that there are 2 kings or the latest places missing from this chessboard, I predict that King will be the name of the next 2 victims.
Oh, this is horrible. Mother's brother-in-law, Colonel King, and his wife Ruby are expected here at any minute. In fact, this is probably there now.
confirmed his worst suspicions.
Well, simply this, Inspector. Neither the family had discovered a codling starch note to Sir Reginald Sill. A startling codicil to Sir Reginald's will. Edgar was one of these persons, and he often said that possession of this information put his life in danger.
What was the nature of this codicil, Mrs. King? Mrs. King, what was the nature of this codicil?
Edgar never told me.
You rang, Mom?
Oh, yes, Vaughan. Take these kernels to the cases room and then bring them.
Mrs. King, I know you're a brave woman, but I tell you, your husband's life will be in danger unless he reveals the true nature of this codicil.
Oh, then ask him immediately, Inspector, because here he comes now. Yes, this is Edgar entering now.
Edgar, your husband?
Yes, Edgar, my husband, the Colonel, is just about to enter immediately, and when he does, we shall see him because he's just coming through the door.
Yes, I'm nearly with you. I'm almost ready. I just come around the corner here, and in fact, I'm just about ready with you now. Do you know, it's a damn funny thing, Jack. I couldn't find the guest loo.
Second on the right, Duncan.
Oh, Toppo.
Oh, pish. Now we shall have to wait to ask him the vital question.
Mrs. King, there's a vital question I must ask you. Who in your family plays chess?
Oh, but stay. Here comes Vaughan with the tea.
Paul, I hope you have remembered the sweetex.
I have heard, Mom.
That's the trouble with men these days. They forget that we're living in the age of the Weight Watchers.
May I repeat my question, Mrs. King? Which members of your family are chess players?
Oh, all of us, Inspector, and we play to win.
Your tea, Mom. Will that be all, Mom?
Thank you, Paul.
Very good.
Would you like it weak or strong, Inspector?
As it comes, Miss Bishop.
I think we'll let it through.
Well, here we are, there, old girl. Any chance of a cup of tea?
What are you doing here, Vaughan?
I just came to take away the tea things, Mom. I've been all waiting there for you, Paul. Yes, well, I just thought I'd pop out for a quick wash. Oh, are you nearly ready then? Well, a wash, and then I had a bath, and then I had a sauna. And I think that's all ready now, it's all over now. And, in fact, well, it's been very nice talking to you. Any chance of a cup of tea, old girl?
Yes, don't finish.
Colonel, I must ask you a question of the utmost importance.
I'll get it. Hello? Yes, King here. What's that? No, I can't talk to you now. I'm not alone, you know. Oh, what's it? What did you say? Never. Oh, dear, we've been cut off. Ruby, we must return to town immediately.
I must advise against that, sir.
I'm very sorry, but I cannot heed that advice. This is a matter of life and death. Well, hip hip, and we'll be back at midnight in time to hear the reading of the will.
There they go.
They're driving up along the cliff.
No, they're driving too fast.
The car's out of control.
No.
Someone must have tampered with the brakes.
Sorry, I forgot my umbrella.
They're driving over the edge of the cliff.
I can't walk.
the end of Act 1, more or less. So we're going straight on with Act 2 for more mystery and excitement. I haven't quite finished, Adrian.
Will you walk this way, madam?
Poor darling! It's been an absolute age since I saw you. I've been rushing from Rome to Hollywood, appearing in some of the world's most expensive films. And now here I am, back at chilly old Checkmate Manor to see if Reggie's left me any moolah. What have I missed?
Oh, nothing, madam. 7 murders, ma'am.
Anyone I know?
No, not really. Mostly relatives.
Spare no loss. What about my vile sister Doreen, the so-called Lady Bishop?
No, Lady Bishop is alive and well, and she's about to join us if my old ears do not deceive me.
What a bore. And what sort of a grand entrance she'll make tonight. Doreen, dear. What a surprise! Hoping I wouldn't turn, I suppose.
Don't be bitter, Letitia.
Bitter? I've no reason to be bitter. You stole Reggie and turned me into an alcoholic. Deny that if you dare.
Well, don't be bitter, Letitia.
Thank you, Paul. That will be all.
Yes, ma'am.
You're holding things up, Paul.
I'm quite aware of that, ma'am.
Take it into the East Wing, Paul.
Yes, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
Don't be bitter, Letitia. I warned you never to mention that name. Haven't I paid enough?
Why don't you have a lie down?
No, I'm going to lie down.
Oh,
Would you like a drink? But when the will is ready tonight, I shall have the last laugh.
I'm lost, love.
I want to see you suffer, Doreen. You're going to suffer like you made me suffer. Just you. Did I say a bit about the tea? I don't know. Mother, Paul said that Aunt Letitia had arrived. Is she here?
Oh, she's having a lie down.
Tell Paul. Well, I must speak with her because the inspector says she may be in grave danger.
Will she be asleep now?
Tell Paul to bring me a Tia Maria. But see here, Mother, there's another bishop missing from the chess table.
Well, I fail to see the significance of that, Daphne. I don't feel old fusspot. The solicitor will be arriving any moment now to read the will. So I must, something about going to the kitchen.
Why won't anyone believe me? I know there's going to be another murder here before midnight. The proof is all here on the board. In fact, there may be some more clues as to the identity of the killer. Oh, Lime, you scared me half to death.
I'm sorry, old girl, but I just had to warn you. It's very dangerous to walk about here alone on your own at night.
To hear you say that, one would think you really cared about me.
And heaps too, Daff. More than anything in the whole world.
Oh, I feel as if I'm walking on air. My head's in the clouds and I'm floating as light as a feather.
Well, come down to earth and tell me you'll be my steady girlfriend.
Oh, yes, Lionel, yes, yes. This could be the passport to true happiness.
I could be happy with you. If you could be happy with me. I'd be so happy, happy anywhere. I go anywhere. As long as you are there, stars would be bright up above. And we would be so in love. I could be happy with you. If you could be happy with me.
Why, sir,
Who are you?
I'm Mr. Goodbody, or Goodbody, Solicitors and Commissioners Rose. I'm here to read the will and testament of the late Sir Reginald Bishop at midnight.
Oh, yes, Mr. Goodbody, we've been expecting you. Can I take your luggage?
I couldn't find it.
Poison! Poison! I've been poisoned! Poison! Poison! I've been poisoned!
She's dead!
I'm sorry, that was a car crash from the first half. Sorry.
What a positively delightful meal! What a positively delightful meal, Lady Bishop!
No, it was nothing.
Midnight has struck. Are all the beneficiaries present?
Well, all except my equestrian niece Patricia, who at this moment is galloping homeward.
Oh, someone will have to give her the message. Shall we convene? about his wishes, which I will now reveal unto you. I, Reginald Bishop, being of sound mind, hereby direct that my rambling estate and huge fortune shall be divided equally between my surviving relatives, and that in the unlikely event of anyone dying, absolutely everything shall go to my horse-loving niece, Patricia.
Patricia, good heavens, this is astonishing.
This surely cannot.
Amazing.
This surely cannot be credible. This surely cannot.
Outstanding.
This surely cannot be, dear Mr. Goodbody, because if it were true, it would seem to suggest the one person with a motive for killing us all is kind-hearted Patricia, friend of the animals.
Mr. Goodbody, could I see that document, please?
No. It's top secret, you know, and now having discharged my duty to you all, I must bid you good night.
Well, when Patricia gets home tonight, she's going to get the sharp edge of my tongue. I say, have I missed the reading of the will? Of course. Yes, you have, Patricia, but I want to talk to you about the will.
Oh, but stay. Here comes Paul with the tea trolley.
Very good, now. It appears that someone has broken the teapot now.
Thank you, Paul. That will be all.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I suppose it all will do with a nice cup of tea. Inspector, would you care for a cup? Would you like another cup of tea, Inspector? Would you like that?
And I'll have one.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. Would you like another cup of tea, Inspector? I'm sure you can have one. Thank you. Thank you very much. Would you like another cup of tea? Daphne, would you like a cup of tea? I'll have one. Just
This parcel has just been delivered for you, ma'am.
How super! One so rarely receives a postal delivery at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, nothing's too much trouble for an aristocrat like you, ma'am.
It's loud every night.
Look after your mother, Daff. The checkmate man and monster has struck again, this time taking Patricia, who could have gone on to be Horsewoman of the Year.
Patricia? But this means she's not the killer.
I'm afraid no. The beast is still in our midst.
Oh, listen to old Rover down there. I'm sure he's trying to tell us who the murderer is.
I wonder.
Rover!
I'm afraid poor old Rover's fetched his last pair of slippers, ma'am.
Oh, poor no, not faithful old Rover, not dead.
I'm afraid so, ma'am. Quite suddenly.
Thank you, Fawn. Now please remove who's no longer alive and then cut along back here to the drawing room.
As you wish, sir.
I see it all now.
What do you mean?
Lady Bishop, Daphne, I know who the murderer is. I predict that within 5 minutes he will expose himself in front of you. I expect chessboard, cryptic clues on the chessboard of his intended victims, but he got too clever, for he left a clue to his own identity, and from that he moved knight to king's bishop 3, and from that it was easy to deduce that his accomplice in the murders was Letitia. Clarissa was his accomplice in the murder, but she wanted a bigger piece of the action, and then she was killed. Then Vicky, the French maid, Regine, the French maid, was his mistress, but she knew too much, and then she was killed. The colonel wouldn't talk, so he died, but not before he told the Rose and Violet who spilled the beans, and then they were killed. And Letitia couldn't be trusted, and then there was Gladys. Oh no, she wasn't in the bush. Sorry. Oh yes, and Mr. Goodbody, he tried to blackmail everybody to run them off the scent, and then there was Thingamything just now, which only leads us to one conclusion as to who the killer could be.
You mean?
Yes.
Come in there. I'm awfully sorry, Jim. I wouldn't have bothered you if it weren't an emergency, but your office on the phone.
Oh, goodness gracious. We're just getting to my big bit.
There's a fire at the factory.
Goodness gracious, what happened?
It's Mr. Burns, Jim.
Oh, I suppose I better go.
Do bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. At times like this, a man's job must come first.
Could you hang on till I get back?
No, we're going to go ahead, actually, but don't you worry about that.
But we're just getting my big bit with the gun and everything.
Well, I've done a bit of rewriting. Could you pass these along, please? Thank you. So everything's under control.
Only one person could have perpetrated all these crimes.
You mean?
Yes. Come out from behind the secret panel, Regine.
Hey, some what? Regine, but you're dead.
No, she was only pretending.
Tell us the whole story, Inspector.
Why don't we let Regine tell us in her own words?
Oh la la! I have been so clever. I blackmail Monsieur Goodbody, not a secret codicil of will, which says that I get all the money if everyone dies. I kill everyone, disguised as Horns the Butler, who tried to foil my plan by pushing me out of the window. But I saved myself by clinging to the windowsill, and then I hide behind secret panel. But why should my husband leave money to a common serving girl? Because we were having an affair. No, I cannot believe it, even though I have lost all my youth and beauty. Reginald loves me and would never leave me for a beautiful young girl with bags of personality and the body of a Greek goddess. I'm afraid you'll have to face facts, Mother. Regine may be a mass murderer, but she's easily the most attractive woman in this room.
Aren't you ashamed of yourself, killing all those people?
No, I'm glad. I tell you, glad.
I'm afraid you'll have to come along with me.
You'll never take me alive.
Look out! She's got a gun!
I go to join my beloved Regine in a far, far better place. Au revoir. I think it needs some oil. next room.
Okay, folks. Sorry, let's just crack on with this. Listen to me. You are very welcome to help yourselves to a beer if somebody'd like to find them. I see some of you have got some, so if anybody can find the rest of them, you're welcome. Otherwise, there's a box of wine here. Please help yourselves. But just give us a relative peace and quiet while we talk our way through this. All right. Just so that everybody knows that we did notice, there was a problem with the sound. It's actually the machine, which only goes to show, right, I'm not pointing a finger, but clearly that electronic stuff, there's more and more need to get this thing sorted out. It's not your fault, but I mean...
Which tape is it?
The tape deck, apparently one of the driver rubber things areas there.
Okay, well we can get that tried. We can get into Roy tomorrow.
Colin? Somewhere during Harlequinade, I can't remember where, I presume from the lighting box, there was a prompt or a bleep of the stage manager's phone.
Right at the beginning.
I don't mind, it was right near the beginning. I don't mind how you communicate. No, that's a silly thing to say. Leave the phone off the hook, please. You know, you just cannot do it because it's so loud.
A bleep.
Listen,
Yeah.
I need a letter from you saying a ring intercom system is what we need.
What?
A ring intercom system
What does
is
that
what we need.
Spell it. It's what we
Everybody,
need, Giles.
stage manager, lights, sound, flies, everybody has a headset
Oh,
with
please.
a little microphone,
Excuse me.
and they're all in touch
That's what
with
we
each
need,
other.
Giles.
You got it, you got it, because really this is ridiculous.
More people who motivated.
Vanquishing.
We've been fighting this one
Not
for
that
about
we've got
5
the money,
years.
but
We've been
we
fighting this for
find the
years.
money.
No, but having said that, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. The society has got a bit more money now than it has had for a while. And, you know, strength to their arm.
Do you want to do the books?
Well, you guys have been on a hell of a fundraising, so there must be some money there somewhere. There's that too, of course. Ring
We've got some
intercom.
that does go up in price,
Okay, in the meantime, sorry folks, please just bear with me. In the meantime, don't use that phone. You leave the phone off the hook. And you whistle down it or you do something. What do you want to contact him for?
TV Washington.
I don't know.
Giles, which one is it?
Actually, you put the phone there. Excuse me.
Let's face it, Shakespeare was the right place for that.
That's right.
It's when it bleeps in the stage manager's box.
Giles, I don't think it's got a
Microphone on.
What do you think of his eyebrows? Only a little bit.
Very nice. Let's go.
Please, folks, give me a chance. Or we're all going to be here till 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. Sorry, Brian.
Put it on the light,
Yeah,
Giles.
that's the point Jim's just made. Okay, fine. Fantastic. Jenny, there's a setting for light or bleep.
Yeah.
It must be only on the flasher light. Okay, thanks. All right.
Did you want to come here?
Can a couple of you husky stage stage crew go up in the fly gallery and lower that centre border, the one that's not a border, in fact it's a curtain. We took it all the way up. Where's David? Was it you? I'm sorry, but in doing that we've revealed light coming right through the borders. So it needs to come down again until it's just touching the top of the flag. Okay, thanks. It's very important. Can I leave it with you? Thank you. The bench, a lot of these are set notes, but please bear with us, folks. The bench underneath the balcony was not in the middle of the hall. And if you think I'm being picky, I'm not. It looks totally unbalanced if it isn't, okay? So the bench that's put right underneath the balcony, underneath the rope ladder, must be right in the middle of that wall. It's terribly important. Ron, your very first entrance, you're jumping a line of his.
Yeah, I realised as soon as I came on, I realised he was mumbling stage manager as I was saying yes.
You did eventually pull the curtains back, folks, but please, the only time you can pull it back without anybody noticing is as it opens one person either side collects it and pulls it out the way. It's a simple little thing, but it is so important. Please.
Take it.
Barbara, can we somehow line you up with a pencil light? Because even that blue light in there, I'm sorry, I know we've had a lot of trouble with this prompt light, but even that blue light is actually brighter than ideally we'd like to have.
I have to have some sort of light.
Yeah.
Because certain parts is quite dark and I really can't see.
Well, it seems to be shining through. I mean, maybe it's just been turned.